Hey Gloria,
Hi, Hans.
how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing well as I'm doing good also.
Good.
Sorry, I'm just messing with something on my audio here. I want to make sure it's working. Great. Okay. All right, we should be all good to go now. So yeah, Gloria, thanks for coming on the Baptized Machine podcast today. Sorry, YouTube is asking me to complete a verification step if we want to stream on there. Let me see if I have it on my phone or not. I don't, so we're not going to do the YouTube thing because that was I had an interview right before this one with a friends who are starting a psilocybin company as it gets legal in Colorado. So we were just talking, so I'm just transitioning from one thing to another right now. So yeah, Gloria, I thought we could start. Maybe you could share a little bit about your background, um, how I got connected with you through Brother Sage, so I'd be kind of interested in hearing the origin story behind you and Brother Sage and how you two got connected. And then yeah, we could probably go from there with everything if that sounds good for you.
Okay, sure. Were you ready for me to start?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for having me, by the way, too.
Oh yeah,
Um,
of course.
I guess I'll just start with um, a little bit about my life and what I was doing before COVID in
Hmm.
like 2019. Um,
Okay.
I was um, with me and my partner were still together now. And at that time, that's just a couple years after we met. And he is real a fitness kind of person. And he got
Hmm.
me in the gym, lifting weights. I learned about fasting and eating better. And so for the first time in my life, I was bench pressing like 135 pounds.
Oh,
I
nice.
was so
You look
healthy
pretty
and
small
fit.
too, so that's a lot of weight. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I never lifted like that. I played soccer and played sports growing up. I was pretty athletic growing up, but I never have like lifted that much weight before, so I was really impressed. And
Awesome.
um and then COVID hit, and I unfortunately at the beginning was watching the mainstream news at that time,
Hmm.
watching all the numbers of COVID, but I was always on guard still.
Yeah.
I did not take the vaccine right away. I did not want to take the vaccine. I'm on the West Coast, so I had a lot of family members taking it and pressuring me to take it, but I didn't want to. And then unfortunately, somebody that I work with, we're told died from COVID.
Oh.
So, and she was only 26 years old. And
Oh
I still
wow.
don't even know exactly how she died. Like, was she put on a vent? Was she told to go be by herself? Um, I'm not even 100% sure. And
Yeah.
all I know is that she was pretty much murdered, is how I feel now about it. But her death coerced me into, I feel like I was coerced into then getting the shot.
So
And so that's,
so she she died from COVID with no vaccine,
yeah,
and then so use the word murder.
yeah.
Who like the COVID
I
murdered
feel
her,
like
or do you
she,
believe it was, started by the government and the government murdered her? Like
yeah,
who are you
like bad
accusing there?
COVID protocols, I guarantee you she wasn't given ivermectin or options of
Okay.
um, just things like that. So
Hmm. Interesting.
that's why I think that bad COVID protocols, regardless of which COVID protocol it was, I believe that a bad COVID protocol is really what led to her death.
Fair, fair. Um,
And so then I started within 2 weeks of her passing is what started me into getting the shot.
okay.
And then I got my first Pfizer jab in May 2021. And
Hmm.
then my second Pfizer jab in June 2021. And it
Okay.
was the second shot that really messed me up.
Huh. How,
Within,
what were your symptoms after the shot?
yeah, within hours of having that shot, I had an induced menstrual cycle. So it was a second menstrual cycle for that month. I had heart palpitations, high blood pressure. Those things have never like happened to me in my life. And they happened within hours of that shot. So I knew it was exactly from that shot.
Hmm.
And then about a month went by and I started double cycling every month. So I was bleeding 16 plus days a month.
Oh wow,
The
that
heart
sounds awful.
palpitations continued. Yeah, it was horrible. I was in constant pain in my ovaries. Like even when I wasn't on my cycle, it felt like horrible pains in my ovaries, constant. Um, so that was it. I was really scary. It really felt like the life was being sucked out of me. Like my body was giving out. Like I couldn't do that forever.
Hmm.
Um, so it was super scary. And then the way that my heart was feeling, I had to completely stop all my gym routines. I couldn't lift weights anymore. I couldn't even swim laps. I couldn't even sit in a sauna anymore without my heart feeling like I was gonna have a heart attack. I would like sit in there for 1 minute and my heart would start pounding so bad that I would have to get out. So like
Terrible.
completely had to stop everything physical.
Wow.
Um, and then that's how I know too, like, so when I first went to a doctor in my local area here in Nevada,
Hmm.
I was told that all this stuff was happening because of anxiety.
Okay, that's scary.
And
Yeah.
I just, yeah. And I mean, at that time, I was 38. My daughter was 16. I
Hmm.
go into the office with my daughter, and I'm like, my daughter, here I am with my daughter. And like, I know what anxiety is, and this isn't anxiety. This is something completely different. And I let them know this happened after the shot, everything that's been going on, but just, I was totally gaslit and disregarded. And I knew like the hospital wasn't where I was going to find care after that visit, that
Okay.
I have to find doctors that believe in, at least believe in that the injury was caused by the vaccine. That's, yeah.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
really,
I was actually a eighth grade teacher during that time, so I was sort of, to go be able to teach my students still and be able to go to the school. I was didn't really it didn't feel like too much of a choice to get the vaccine. Fortunately, I didn't have any adverse effects. I did get COVID twice and it was asymptomatic, and I just had the flu last week, and that felt a lot worse than COVID too. So I just am like, yeah, it raises a lot of questions for me too of how rushed
yeah.
everything is.
I didn't, I waited so long to get the vaccine, and I didn't get COVID ever until after I was vaccinated,
Yeah, it's
you
interesting.
know? And
So
that's how a lot of us, like, the more I talk to people too, it's that way with a lot of people as well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, is this then like end of 2021 after you got the Pfizer vaccine? Is that when you got into contact with Brother Sage, or did you already know him prior to COVID?
It wasn't until this year actually. So,
Oh, okay.
the moving into 2022 is when I was able to start finding doctors that would help me that believed in vaccine injury. So I was able to get on prescriptions and get on like the FLCC protocols, get on ivermectin and NAC and fenofibrate, which helped me, but it didn't remove all the poison from the body from the vaccine. So I kept on trying to look for help with doctors, trying to help other vaccine injured. And that's, I also like started speaking at board meetings at my employer, because they started talking about mandating shots,
Wow.
mandating the COVID shots. And so I started speaking at board meetings, and they eventually mandated the shot on the faculty. They fired 500 employees.
Wow.
And then
What
um,
industry was that in again? If you don't mind sharing.
I work at a university in Nevada.
Okay.
And so they, all this stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
And um, at that time, a lot of people were telling me to stop talking about it. People that I knew that were close to me. And I really, at that time, then prayed about it, because I was like, do I stop? Do I keep going? Am I being, do I just go on and live my life? And
Yeah.
and so but I prayed, and God told me to keep going.
Huh.
And the
Interesting.
next month after that is when I started my work with the Can We Talk About It campaign.
Yep. Saw that
And I
website.
met Aga Wilson, and I started helping other vaccine injured, and in that being able to get help myself and help others, it was a beautiful thing joining that. And then the month after that, I kept speaking at the board meetings, and I helped end the mandates in my state in June
Wow.
2022. And then in January 2023, my work with the Can We Talk About It campaign, I was at an Inspire Summit in January, and I met Jonathan Otto. And he shared with me the truth about what's in the vaccine. And he shared with me Dr. Artis's research. And then he shared with me on how to get that poison out of your body. And he shared with me Dr. Buttar and Dr. Edward Group's research on urotherapy.
So you you talked about what treatments have you used that have been beneficial in your journey to get the vaccine out of your body?
Urotherapy is the only thing I can say that
Really?
got the vaccine out of my body, because I went through all kinds of therapies in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff helped me, but nothing removed the poison. I still had side effects. The beginning of this year, almost 2 years of suffering, couldn't go to the gym, worrying about heart attack and stroke. Those were all things I was still
Wow.
dealing with the beginning of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I started urotherapy in February 2023. And
Okay.
by April 2023, all my COVID vaccine side effects were gone.
And then
My
what?
body completely detoxed and that's what urotherapy does. It'll detox your body of all synthetics and poisons and regenerate your cells back to health.
And then have you had any like blood work or tests done around it, or is it kind of just a feeling for you that your symptoms have been alleviated?
Yeah, like after 2 years of symptoms and
Mm-hmm.
not being able to do, like only being able to sit in the water, only being able to sit in a sauna for 30 seconds or a minute.
Yeah.
um you know I unfortunately, like I said, I went to the doctors and they wouldn't help me, so I haven't been able to get the tests and stuff that one would say that's needed. But I mean, that's not needed to heal.
For sure.
um
Yeah. It just I
and that's
just
what I was
I
always wanting, was healing.
yeah, I just think the whole, for people like Brother Sage, like the whole um practice of that could benefit if they have some, research to show people. Um and I
Well,
feel like
now
it could be
there's,
done. Yeah.
well, we are the research, we are the clinical trial that's happening right now. I
Awesome.
am, I started a group on Facebook Messenger, Disease in Reverse. And this group is stemmed off of a docuseries I made, diseaseinreverse.com /
Diseaseinreverse.com.
Gloria.
Okay.
And on this journey, you can learn from doctors and scientists for free, the same ones I learned from, and then my healing testimonies in there. And now I created a group where others are healing. And so we get to share all this information with the doctors. And they're doing just more and more research. Dr. Group and Dr. Artis even ask for other doctors that are doing this research to work with them. There's just so much research and work to be done that they don't have enough people.
So would you say the biggest barrier to the research is just the lack of people to help conduct it, or do you think more people are practicing who may, not be stepping forward because of stigmas around it or whatnot?
I would probably say both. Um, but also can say that the doctors care more about helping people heal, and the need for helping people heal is today,
Mm-hmm.
because there are so many people that are hurting from this shot and that are like on the brink of, are they going to have a heart attack today? That
For
if they
sure.
start this therapy now, those worries will be gone. This therapy will, I hear more and more from people that instantly have relief.
Awesome. I know there's a few different types of the therapy, from drinking it to drinking evolved or age versions of it, to eye cupping, to bathing in it. And I was just wondering kind of what's worked best for you. How often are you practicing this? Is it daily, weekly, multiple times a day? Are you doing anything in addition to the urotherapy? Like, are you still exercising and focusing on diet? How does your partner feel about it? How does your daughter feel about it? I have a lot of questions.
Sure, sure. Um, so, when I first learned about this in January this year and thinking, oh my gosh, I might do this,
Mhm.
I thought that me, my partner, and my daughter, like the relationship at the beginning of this year, after 2 years of hurting and everything I've gone through, all my relationships were pretty like rocky at that
Trained,
time.
yeah. Yeah,
And
it's hard
then
to get along with people when you're not feeling well yourself. So I can relate to that. I had the flu last week and I can relate to that. Yeah. Even though
I
it's
didn't
temporary.
realize how bad much I was putting out until I
Hmm.
was healed, and like, oh my gosh, that start to think about it all, like, wow.
Yeah.
But so then when I learned about this and I'm like, oh my gosh, I might actually do this. I thought when I told my partner, because me and him were in a rocky spot, I thought that was going to be the for sure the
The
ticket that
straw
he
that
was going
broke
to
the
be done.
camel's back. Yeah.
But he actually, because he's in fitness and he works in the medical field, he thought about it all and he was like, well, it makes sense.
Yeah. Have you
And so I'm
have
like,
you
wow, that's cool.
yeah, you mentioned he was a gym person, and I know that like there's a hormone that um only pregnant women release. It's like HGH4 or something. And it's found in certain like growth hormones or steroids that bodybuilders drink. But I heard that like back in the day, they like really intense bodybuilders would actually drink pregnant women's urine. I don't know if you've heard that at all or not, but that's something I just learned actually
I
the other
haven't, but
day.
it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes total sense. And that's where too, like some of the doctors are starting to come around, because babies are born in urine. They actually need the urine to grow.
Yeah.
Without the urine, they wouldn't be able to grow. They would
Huh.
die. The fetus would die without urine.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, so those stem cells are creating and uh building the organs of the baby.
Wow.
So why would the stem cells be able to be so good for a baby and then all of a sudden be so
Bad for an
poisonous as an
adult. Yeah.
adult? Yeah. It just doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
Um,
Um,
so yeah, like it's really miraculous. And then there's just so many minerals, thousands and thousands of healing minerals. So at the time when I started this therapy, I was running out of supplements because my money, after 2 years of dealing with vaccine injury, everything I've had to do is out of pocket because my insurance doesn't recognize vaccine injury and I can't get the proper
Wow.
help on insurance. So my money was running out, my supplements were running out. I didn't know what I was going to do, and God brought a way for me. And so now I don't even really need supplements. I haven't taken anything else except urotherapy, and I do wear a nicotine patch now.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the only two things I do because my urine is so much full of healing minerals and stem cells that I don't need anything else really.
That's
And
incredible.
when I healed in the beginning, I drank 5 ounces a day. My
Okay.
morning urine, your morning urine has most stem cells. So I would try to get the morning urine, but if you don't get the morning urine, it's fine, whichever
Mm-hmm.
urine you get. And then yeah, about 5 ounces a day. In the beginning, I also mixed it. You can mix it with tea, juice,
Mm-hmm.
fresh squeezed, oranges, distilled water, vitamin powders, anything healthy that you want.
Okay.
And then after I started urotherapy is when I really started cleaning my diet up.
Okay.
The healthier you eat, the better you drink, the more your urine is going to be supercharged.
Mm-hmm. That makes
When I
sense.
first healed, though, I would say that I only did about 5 ounces a day and once a day, but I did
Wow.
consistently do it every day.
That's okay. And are you still doing it every day?
Yes.
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 That's great.
It's 8 months later now for me.
Uh-huh.
And when I hit somewhere between around month 6 and month 7, I
Mm-hmm.
had like an cyst in my breast and they told me it wasn't cancerous, but I've had it for like a decade. So I was always a little worried about it.
Yeah.
And when I hit month 6 and 7, that lump now is gone.
Oh wow. That's amazing. So it's
So I'll
not even
always do this the rest
masses.
of my life. Yeah. It's healing decades of poisons that I've had now. And that's what your stem cells will do. They'll target your place in your body that needs to be healed the most. And then it'll just move and it'll heal another part and another part and another part.
Hmm. Yeah, so I was curious, you're also a mathematician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you delved into any data or research about like vaccine related industries? Sorry, injuries, not industries. I was just curious if there is data out
Yeah.
on that, and then kind of what insights you've gained from that data if you have looked at it.
I've looked at like the VAERS data. I have downloaded, yeah, it's like sheets, hundreds of thousands of sheets of data from that you could download from the VAERS website. And then so you already know too that what's on the VAERS website, there's vaccine
What
injured
is
that
that
they're
website?
they're
Sorry, I'm not familiar. Is it VERS or if
let me make I think it's VAERS. Let me make
yeah,
sure.
if you could let us know. Oh, I see it. VAERS.HHS.gov.
Yeah, that sounds like it's probably it. And then so like I've reported my injury there,
Mm-hmm.
and it took them 9 months to even get back to me. And then
Wow.
when they got back to me, all they cared about is information about my doctor. They didn't even care about me. And I'm
Huh.
like, what the heck? So I looked up my doctor and he's being sued by the FDA at that time. And I'm like, I'm not telling them anything because it's the CDC that puts out this website.
Yeah, that's wild. Wow.
And at that time, I was seeing a doctor that was actually helping me get ivermectin.
Which was a
Yeah.
bit
So
controversial at
I
that
didn't,
time,
I decided that I'll never write back to them again.
yeah.
And I know of other vaccine injured that their report is completely deleted out of that data.
Wow.
Um, and I know that a lot of vaccine injured don't even know about this website as well. So it's like really heavily underreported. But you can see like from the COVID vaccine that the vaccine injuries are way more from just the COVID shot than all years prior.
Mm-hmm. Do you think anyone's benefited from the COVID vaccine?
No.
I mean,
I
other than
think
the
people either got a
pharmaceutical
saline
companies
shot.
making money. Yeah.
I
Sorry.
think people got a saline shot, or, I think we all have different things in our bodies, so we're gonna react differently to things.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Totally.
yeah, but hopefully you got a saline shot.
Yeah, I hope I got 2 out of the 3 or 4 I was supposed to get, so who knows?
And then, like, that's what's the nice thing about urotherapy is that you don't have to know for sure exactly what poison do I have in my body, or what was this, what was that.
mhm.
It doesn't matter because urotherapy will take out all synthetics from your body, all poisons from your body. It will regenerate every cell in your
Wow.
body. So that's what's amazing. Like, I didn't know it was going to take out that lump in my breast, but it did. I had extreme head pulling from the vaccine. I had shooting pains from my arm to my neck, like just pulling on my neck, weird movements in my body. Like, I can't even describe to you all the way what it was.
Mhm.
Inflammation. Um, my heart always was feeling like I was gonna have a heart attack and stroke, but all of those side effects are gone.
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I wonder, have you ever heard of anyone who's tried urotherapy where they did not, see any benefits from it? Because just now with the people I was talking about psilocybin mushrooms with, like, no one's really had adverse effects to it when it is done in small dose, but
Yeah.
they have had some clients who have had no benefits. So, and then others have had tremendous. I was wondering kind of how that compares with urine therapy and everything.
I've been kind of seeing a lot of the same trends. I could say though that if you're not seeing results from urotherapy, the first things that you want to look at are your diet.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes, water intake, food intake, supplement intake, um, filler intake. What are your internal and external um, hazards and toxins? Like, you have to like look at all of that because all of that will affect the potency of your urine.
Totally.
So those are things that you would check. I always try to be positive and meditate and pray because that also keeps me in good frequencies, and your good frequencies will affect your urine. Um, oh, and a parasite cleanse. A parasite cleanse is really key
Yeah,
factor too. I'm noticing that a lot of people that don't see results with urotherapy may not have ever had a parasite cleanse. And
mm-hmm.
a lot of us that are seeing fast results have had a parasite cleanse.
How do you do that? I'm honestly, I'm not familiar at all with a parasite cleanse. If you could explain that.
There are, you could buy a parasite cleanse. I would always recommend buying from the doctors and people like Jonathan Otto that are making pure products without fillers. You
Okay.
always want to be careful of the bad fillers because they use the soy and the citric acids, and then it's all of a sudden a poison pill again. So just always make sure that you're getting products without fillers and health natural products. There's also, like, I started my Rumble channel. It's Gloria Free for All, and it's the number 4. And on there, I have a guest, Kelly Rogers, and she came on and taught us how to make a homemade parasite cleanse out of just 3 ingredients. So
Okay.
then we have that option out there. And when I was at the Healing for the Ages conference in Dallas, Texas, Dr. Group came up to me and he said, it's so important that we have parasite cleanses. And he recommends a parasite cleanse once a week because that's how much they're attacking us with parasites right now.
Yeah. Huh. Once a
But the
week.
urotherapy will also help with the parasites. It's if you have like a really strong parasite overload in
Yeah.
the body, then you may also need a parasite cleanse.
Okay.
But when you do those things, parasite cleanse, eat healthy, drink healthy, pray, meditate, cut out all of your synthetics and toxins out of your life in all the ways you can, then your
Hmm.
urine's going to be strong and you should be able to see really good results.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, I'm curious also. I do have limited time tonight, and normally I have my co-host with me. He goes by the Wall Street Bitch. But he's out of town in Miami right now. So I'm hoping when he's back, we could possibly have you and Brother Sage on together for a discussion. I think would be really great. But I
Yeah.
but I think this is a great kind of part one to open up our conversation with you and just get another voice on our podcast. But I do just have one final question before we wrap up for today, and then hopefully we can continue this later on with the Wall Street Bitch. And the question is, in your, I guess, ideal world, what would the what would this medical industry really look like? And yeah, just like what would the medical industry look like to you in your ideal world? So you could kind of practice these alternative medicines in a way where you're not paying out of pocket, where you're not financially struggling, where you're not stigmatized in negative ways. If you could just speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. So what a wonderful place it would be if we can have medical freedom and be able to know the truth too. Like, why is it such a bad thing to know the truth about health and the truth about the things that really make the body feel good and stay healthy and be able to get longevity, increase longevity as long as possible.
Mhm.
Um, that's like what the future is for me. I'm working on that, and hopefully that we can see those things, in our future, and
Yeah.
that we will all have better options, more choices on uh I think it's ridiculous that my insurance only covers certain things and nothing truth, nothing the
Uh,
truth. So really, I'm scared now. I'm scared to go to the doctor on my insurance. I'm
yeah.
scared to go to the hospital. I would be so nice to be able to use my insurance and be able to go use it anywhere I want.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a bit absurd about, in America, anywhere you go, the price of something before you buy it, but that's not the case with our healthcare at all. So that's something that's always interested me a little bit, and
That's
that
true.
could be better. Not
It's
only,
probably a different
yeah,
price for everybody.
yeah,
And that does raise red flags.
yeah,
Another red flag thing that's raised is how much money all the insurance companies are making for providers that are selling shots.
yeah, yeah. How
So like,
incentivized it is. I do. I will ask you maybe a tougher question then around that. Is I went to that website you had mentioned, diseaseinreverse.com/Gloria, and immediately it's like, I see the capitalistic society we live in there, where it's like you're getting this for free, but it's worth $279 value. So I was curious, where that number came from, how long, and why is it free now, and then when do you pay? How are
so
you supporting yourself?
how it works is that you can watch the documentary series.
Hmm.
You can get it for free, and every 24 hours it's going to send you a new episode. And
Okay.
then that's how we're able to show free work. And
Hmm.
I learned about urotherapy and how to heal myself from Jonathan Otto and his free work on his series. I didn't pay anything.
Okay.
But then for those that who want to keep it, to be able to watch it whenever you want and over again, then you have to buy it.
That makes
But
sense.
but he lets everybody have the option to watch it for free. And like we're having another release of a new Healing Genesis. And that one, you know, you could watch the live event every day, and then he does a live Q&A where you can go live with Jonathan Otto at the
Amazing.
end. Yeah, so it's like the free is there, but sometimes the free is not enough for everyone.
Yeah, they want to dive in deeper or get some extra support, or I get
Like
that
I was
totally.
busy in my notebook, you know, if you don't have that time and that dedication, you
Yeah,
might have to buy it.
fair,
but
fair.
but so that's where off of this series and what I learned and working with the doctors and scientists and working with Jonathan Otto, you know,
Mhm.
they fully support me helping the community and sharing their research and work further. And that's how I met Brother Sage. You were asking about Brother Sage.
Yeah.
Me and Brother Sage, he saw all of a sudden videos of me talking about urotherapy in the public,
And
and
so he
he's just
jumped
like,
on that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's like, I've been waiting for so long for somebody to speak in the public about it, and
It's
I
great.
just know what it's like to feel hopeless, so I wanted to share that with everyone.
Yeah, yeah, we've known him for about like 3 years now. So he's a a character, but a good guy, a good man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a good soul, and I can't wait till we all get to talk. That'll be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe in the next few, maybe middle of November, another month, we could plan something when my co-host, the Wall Street Bitch, is back, and we'll use our premium Zoom account so we can do a call for longer than 40 minutes and really go as long as we want and dive in as deep as we want into topics.
Awesome, that sounds great.
Yeah, well, it's great to meet you, Gloria, and connect. And yeah, I'll do a little bit of editing on this, and I'll get you the audio and video recording. I'll put the video on YouTube, and I'll send you all that tomorrow afternoon.
Awesome, I can't
Yeah.
wait. Thank you.
Yeah,
It
and
was so
I
nice to talk to you,
yeah,
Hans.
you too. I would have totally figured out the live stream, but I had people like in my house right before that we were doing an interview, so it's kind of back to back and just a little too much for one time. But yeah, next time we'll do a live stream and it'll be great.
Awesome, sounds
All right.
good. Thank you
Thank you,
so much. It was a
Gloria.
great
Yeah,
time talking.
great talking to you. Have a good afternoon. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye.